I don't remember the last time where I genuinely was not obsessed with my appearance before heading out the door, and I know I am not alone. Why is it that so many, I would say the majority of us women, feel this need to be pretty? Hi everyone, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here to the Level Up podcast, where we talk about all things self-improvement, personal development, basically anything that you need to know in order to level up. So I want to first talk on the beauty industry's strategy, hidden agenda. Have you ever noticed how it seems like every product, especially every beauty product, is designed to solve a problem that we didn't even know we had? Like, if it wasn't for this new and trending product, let's say like the oil cleansers, I would have never paid attention to my sebaceous filaments. I would have never paid attention to my pores. If it wasn't for this new hair mask, I would have never paid attention to my hair and how dry it was, and my split ends, and how my hair is not perfectly silky and smooth because it's curly, obviously, but also because whenever I walk around in the real world, everybody's hair is like mine. Like, very few people have very silky straight hair. Very few people look like they don't have any pores. Very few people don't look oily on a hot day. Very few people's makeup is not waterproof and seamless after taking a dip in the pool. If it wasn't for this trend of like Botox and lip filler, I would have never noticed that my lips were a little bit too thin, or that my forehead had wrinkles when I scrunched it. And here's the thing, the beauty industry is a business. Obviously, it's composed of a lot of little businesses. And what do businesses do? They have to solve a problem. That is how they get people to buy a product. So are these beauty companies really selling problems, or are they creating problems to sell the illusion of a solution? I feel like a lot of our desires for a wrinkle-free face, a pore-free face, a silky straight hair comes from these problems that the beauty industry has created so that it could hold on and leech and take all of our money, as much of our money as it can. And then there's social media. We're constantly bombarded with images of beautiful people who look like Greek goddesses or gods. And it makes sense, because obviously we make these people famous because we're like, wow, you're so beautiful. You are so like not human. And we want to see these beautiful faces. And so we just tap that like. And we like to see the aesthetically pleasing faces with the aesthetically pleasing lifestyles. And so tap, tap, tap. But how many of these pretty faces do you see in your day-to-day lives? I have had breakdowns before, especially like in my teenage years. I would be getting ready to go to an event, maybe a party, maybe even just to the grocery store, something so simple. And I'm like, oh my god, my makeup looks like shit. My makeup looks cakey. First of all, everybody's makeup looks cakey. Like, once you take the beauty filter off, like, you can see the cakiness. It's normal, right? Everybody has texture on their face. I'd be like, oh my god, my eyebrows are uneven because I finished watching a video on somebody doing like symmetrical eyebrows or whatever. My boobs are too big. Oh my god, my ass is too flat. Yeah, because I didn't get a BBL. Oh my god, when I sit down, you can see my fupa. Duh, I'm a woman. My body is designed to carry a baby. Of course, I have a stomach. But I would just start breaking down because I would be on my phone the whole day, the whole morning, and I was constantly seeing these picture perfect people with these flat stomachs, ripped abs, perfect lips, perfect teeth, perfect smiles, perfectly symmetrical faces. And I'm like, I am so ugly. I can't step outside. The amount of classes that I have skipped because I felt this way. I felt like my outfit wasn't good enough. I felt like my skin wasn't good enough. I felt so ugly. I felt so blah, blah, blah. And then I would have to, go to school, step out in the outside world, and I would see people who looked like me, who didn't have a beauty filter on their face. Of course, how could they? It's the real world. Beauty standards that we see online are not even actually attainable by the people who are setting them. They are far removed from reality. And yet we all still subconsciously or consciously try to attain them. We all still try to have glass skin and silky hair and a slim, thick body or a ballerina figure. The amount of TikToks that I've seen, the girl holding up her phone. My only goal is to get as hot as possible and as rich as possible. Or my priorities are to get as hot as possible, as skinny as possible. And it's like satire, right? Like most of the time it's a joke. Obviously, that's not your only priority. Obviously, we have bills to pay and we have goals to meet outside of our physical appearance. But there is still a level of prioritization that comes with trying to become the hottest person, trying to become a hotter version of you, a prettier you. You are still spending your finite resources, which are your energy, your money, your time, on trying to become more beautiful. All of my high school years, I wasn't physically attractive. Obviously, I was a prepubescent teen. My job was not to be hot. My job was just to grow into myself. But I really felt like I need to be pretty. I need to be as pretty as everybody else. And part of that stems from wanting to be accepted by society. I wanted to have a boyfriend. I wanted to experience love. And I felt like the only reason to get there, the only reason to even have friends was to be pretty. So I really prioritized it. I spent so much of my money, all of my money actually, so much of my time, so much of my energy just trying to be prettier. And now looking back, like I regret that shit so much because girl, I could have been learning literally anything else. Forex. I could have started a business. I could have started YouTube videos. Like I could have been well off now if I would have just spent my energy prioritizing my inner self, my finances, my goals, my external goals, right? Instead of seeking for validation, I could have been validating myself. And because I spent so much energy trying to be prettier, well, I eventually did get prettier. I did my makeup, I lost weight, I did my lashes, blah, blah, blah. I was pretty now, but it was never enough. Now my goal was not to be pretty. My goal was to be the prettiest bitch to walk this earth. It's because it's a never-ending chase. We are always told, oh, but you could look better. You look good now, but you could look better. Oh, girl, you have a bomb-ass body, but it could get better. Maybe if you just get a BBL, slight adjustment, put a little bit of fat here, and then it's a never-ending cycle. Oh, your lips look so good, but just like a half a syringe. You're nearing 25 now, maybe a little bit of preventative Botox. And there is always this desire to want more, to be prettier, even if you already are conventionally attractive. You always think that, oh, there's something more I could do. Take, for example, Angelina Jolie, or what's her name? Adriana Lima? I don't know her name. Gorgeous as women, like the epitome of beauty. And then they got a little bit older, and what did they do? Bombarded themselves with plastic surgeries and Botox and fillers and all of this, and then people started calling them out for suddenly being ugly and oh, they looked so good when they were younger. And now this desire to be the most attractive or to be more attractive can lead to unhealthy habits and a constant state of comparison to yourself, but also to other people. And then there's this attention that you get when you're so pretty. It's superficial as fuck, right? Like when I was the ugly duckling in high school, I had this one genuine connection. Basically, it was just like this like coming of age, like romance story, whatever. This guy liked me, not because I was hot, not because I had big ass, not because I had boobs. Like, no, I was a prepubescent teen. Looks-wise, like, it was lacking. But he liked me for me. He liked me for my personality. He liked me because I made him laugh. He liked me because we connected so well. And then when I suddenly had my glow up, the attention that I was attracting, not people that wanted to get to know me, people that wanted to bang me. That's it. That's all they wanted from me. The attention that you get when you are pretty is so superficial. It lacks genuine interest and connection. And not all the time, right? But I would say most of the time, like a large percentage of the attention that you're going to get is not the good kind. And could you imagine how lost and confused I felt when I was like, oh, I just need to be prettier to get my boyfriend. You know, my first relationship. I just need to get prettier to get more friends and be accepted by others. Then boom, I was prettier, and then I felt so numb and alone, and I felt like nobody liked me, like genuinely liked me, and all I had was these guys wanting to fuck and not even get to know me. So dare I say, getting prettier didn't lead to me becoming happier or living a more fulfilling life. So then what the fuck was the point? Because I wasn't even more confident when I was always trying to be prettier, always trying to find something else. Oh, I want lip filler. Oh, I need to get my eyebrows done. I need to get my mustache waxed. I need to get my whole body waxed. And oh, maybe a laser. I was so insecure because I was constantly trying to pinpoint the things that were wrong with me. That led to me being like, you know what? I don't necessarily need to be the prettiest girl in the room. Like, I'm good with myself. But then there's this disconnect, right? Where you're like, well, should I just wear no makeup all the time? Should I just look like a hobo all the time? Like, how do I find the silver lining where I am still looking put together, where I am able to do my makeup and not do it because I want external validation, but do it just for myself? How do I empower myself versus empower these money hungry corporations? And it starts by realizing that we don't necessarily need to cater ourselves to the beauty standards set by the outside world. Self-care and self-acceptance and self-love and doing your makeup and taking a bath and doing your skincare, it can be healthy. It can add to your life. It doesn't have to be this toxic thing that helps you pinpoint every single one of your insecurities and the insecurities yet to come. How I like to think about it is, how can I add to my beauty? What do I enjoy doing? Do I enjoy doing my makeup? Am I gonna get a BBL? No, but am I gonna go bust my ass in the gym, run, strength train? Yes, because I enjoy it, but I don't necessarily need to have the biggest ass in the world in order to feel confident and secure within myself. And I think a lot of it has to stem from just accepting yourself. Once you start accepting your appearance and the body that you were born with, it gets so much easier to live life with just the intention of trying to nurture it, trying to make it look the best it can, make it as healthy as it can be, but not necessarily having to stem all of these habits or beauty secrets or whatever from this point of trying to change yourself. Another thing that I look for is like, am I following trends just because they're trendy, like back in the day, or do I genuinely like how these trendy things make me feel? For example, when I first started doing my lashes, I would get like mega volume 3, 4, 5 layers of lashes. Give me all of the lashes, because that is what was in style, and I fell in love with it. I love lashes. I mean, I have lashes on right now. I built a whole company based on lashes, and now that the natural look is back in style, I tried the natural look. I don't really like it. So I'm sticking with my lashes, right? I'm sticking with my mega volumes because it makes me feel good, because I like it. Back then, I was so insecure with my body because I felt like my chest was really big, but my butt. And so I went to the gym and I started building muscle, and I grew my glutes. And now petite, super scrawny, petite body shapes are in style. And now I have to make the choice of, well, do I want to follow that trend, or do I like my body how it is now? And I like my body how it is now, so I'm not going to be following that trend. You know, a lot of these trendy things, they are trendy because they are entering our focus, right? So it's okay to like try them out. And if you like it, fuck it, go for it. But don't try to follow every single trend that comes into play just for the sake of being trendy and being in style and being hot. Find the things that you like about yourself, that you like altering maybe, and stick to it. Do what feels right for you, but don't do things because of societal pressures or trends. I also had to remind myself that being beautiful and being pretty are not the same thing. Like, I know what it's like to have people think that I'm pretty. I turn into this game in their heads of like this cat and mouse, right? They're trying to catch me because I'm so pretty, and they wanna put something inside me. And I also know what it's like when somebody thinks that I'm beautiful. Like right now, my boyfriend, he thinks I am so beautiful. When I wake up in the morning, I haven't brushed my teeth, my lashes like a little bit messed up, a little crooked. Maybe I haven't shaved in a while. I have no makeup, obviously I was sleeping. He thinks I look so beautiful. Why? Because he knows me, he's in love with me, right? He loves the way that I carry myself, maybe my personality, maybe, you know, like the love goes far beyond looks. And that is why he thinks I'm beautiful. versus some random stranger on the street. Maybe I'm wearing a tight dress. He's like, damn, she's so pretty. Let me go talk to her. Let me try to hit that. Being pretty does not mean being beautiful. How many times have you looked at someone and genuinely just mesmerized by them? Maybe they had a little quirk, and maybe they were just able to make the whole room laugh, or maybe they just were so happy and bubbly. Maybe they were just so confident, and you're like, wow, that person is beautiful. That person is glowing. But a lot of the times it has nothing to do with how pretty they are, right? It stems from societal's beauty standards. What's in right now? If somebody's super small, long silky hair, makeup done, slim, thick, but very slim, that is pretty right now. But the people that are that type of pretty are not the only ones who can be called beautiful. Beauty is far more complex. And just because you may not be pretty doesn't mean you can't be beautiful. And that's the beautiful thing about beauty. How do you get to that point of optimal beauty? It stems from growing into yourself and accepting yourself, right? Because when you're accepting yourself, you're not overly thinking about your appearance. You're not fixing your hair. Maybe like you're self-consciously always like making sure you're like put together. No, you're just living in the moment. You're making people laugh. You're laughing. When you learn to accept yourself and when you learn to prioritize things outside of being pretty, that is when you become way more charming, way more charismatic, way more beautiful. And the self-acceptance is the key to that. If you want to be beautiful, accept yourself. It has very little to do with your appearance. It has everything to do with how you view yourself. And that has been my journey on learning that I don't have to be pretty. And look at me and say this back to me, because God knows I need to hear it too. You don't have to be the prettiest bitch in the room. Not tonight. Not ever. That is not our job. And we don't owe it to anyone. We don't owe it to our partners. We don't owe it to our family, to our friends. But we owe it to ourselves to find peace and happiness and to find that freedom that comes with accepting ourselves just the way we are. And I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions and your stories and your journeys on this realization down in the comments, because it honestly would have saved me from so much pain, so much discomfort when I was younger. And I probably would have been way ahead of the game, like financially wise, goal wise, if I spent more time trying to accept myself versus trying to make myself prettier. Yeah, that was all that I had for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this is a Level Up podcast. I love to talk about self-acceptance, wellness, fitness, personal development, anything mindset related. So if you're into that, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if it taught you anything, or if you could relate to my experience at all. Please comment down below any advice you have for us or your own personal experience, because I am still seeing so many TikToks of people trying to be prettier, people trying to be hotter, and I know that it is just like a joke, and that's perfectly fine, right? But it still kind of like triggers me a little bit, because I'm like, shit, should I try to get hotter? Maybe you should get lip filler. And it is really difficult to just constantly be trying to accept yourself and care for yourself when you are just flooded with outside perspectives that are telling you, no, you need to be prettier, no, you need to do this, no, you need to do that, no, you're this, you're that. Thank you so much for listening, and if you stay to the end, I love you very much, and until next time, bye.